My name is Joe Zahn, and I'm no expert, journalist, or even a comedian. I just read about Missouri politics so you don't have to. This is Some Guy with a Tie. There are few things Republicans like to tout more than local control. But when you scratch the surface, you may realize that support for local control doesn't apply to everyone.
This 2015 law pushed by Representative Dan Schall, who is also the executive director of the Missouri State Grocers Association. It passed over former Governor Jay Nixon's veto and prohibits municipalities from imposing bans, fees, or taxes on those bags.
To send a message to the city of St. Louis and to Circuit Attorney Kimberly Gardner, I myself will push for the state to take back control of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department.
If you supported ranked choice voting, you probably don't like this bill or this HJR. This will ensure that one person in the primary represents each party and that you can only vote for a single candidate in the primary.
I'm confused. It seems like we only want local control if they agree with the Republican legislators. Maybe Representative Schall can shed some light.
I believe local control is good until it's not.
Got it. If you are from a conservative part of the state, you may say, so the big city libs don't get to do the stuff they want. Big deal. My local control is still safe. About that.
Under the new law, giant concentrated animal feeding operations, also called CAFOs, would be allowed in Stone and Taney counties. The big concern of the group is sewage ending up in the county streams, rivers, lakes, and drinking water, and that this bill takes away the voice of local farmers.
The best thing about living on the farm used to be go outside and get a breath of fresh air, and it invigorated you for the whole day. And pardon my language, but he says nowadays you go outside and it stinks.
We need to be working to protect and support them, not taking away rights from people to protect themselves and their water and their communities from corporate CAFOs.
Yep. If you get between them and their corporate farming donors, you may be left out in the cold as well. State law passed in 2019 bars any counties from straying from state rules regulating the concentrated animal feeding operations, aka factory farms. In fact, due to this law, counties near these farms have major health and safety concerns they're powerless to address. Today, they're trying to take their concerns all the way to the Missouri Supreme Court. But so far, they've been told, take a seat. So I guess what I'm saying is, the next time your representative claims their belief in local control is absolute, you might be a little cautious. Or you could end up like St. Louis.
Would I like to have local control over the city of St. Louis? Absolutely.
No.
Gross. Governor Mike Parson has declared the pandemic is over. I didn't know it worked like that. Well, I declare chocolate is a vegetable. So now you can get off my back, Dr. Oz. State Rep voted most likely to chug a White Claw and tell you, sorry, this party is private. Nick Schroer, shown here LARPing as one of his idols from the U.S. Senate.
What would your definition of a woman be?
Well, I think a woman is more of an adult term.
I'm not sure woman is defined in any of these bills, so what would your definition be? What is your definition of woman?
Boy, he seems confused, has introduced a completely non-binding resolution.
I think it is time that we revisit some of the moves of the previous presidential administration and the current presidential administration. We have to start taking steps to become entirely independent of our reliance on fuel from Russia and other foreign adversaries.
Oh yeah, energy independence. I'm sure this will include an all-of-the-above approach to ensure that we can stay at the forefront of innovation while strengthening our current energy supply.
Simply put, this resolution urges Congress and the Biden administration to take action by rescinding all prohibitions, cancellations, or bans on drilling, pipeline projects, and different sales of oil leases, to revive the Keystone XL pipeline.
Oh no, he just wants to drill more and fast-track pipelines that deliver oil abroad versus delivering them to Missouri residents. All of these forced sound bites, they sound like a campaign commercial. And now, more fun. Let's dig in. As of Friday, the GOP Budget Committee leaders had failed to allocate full funding for the proposed budget, which as of now leaves $1.8 billion unspent. They would rather leave money on the table than fund programs to pave roads, support schools, pay teachers, build rural broadband infrastructure, or even help Missourians get health care. This doesn't even mention the $6 billion still sitting unspent from the federal government. When I say unspent, what I mean is that these programs have been approved. Departments are ready to go, and the money is just sitting in the Treasury. If they simply don't want to allocate money for the budget, they don't have to. While there are many deserving projects that have had their funding yanked, I'd like to focus on teachers. You know, the highly educated angels we expect to be therapists, social worker, fundraiser, safety expert, willing to put their life on the line during a pandemic, all to teach your kid math. Missouri ranks next to last nationally in funding for K-12 schools. 25% of schools are only teaching 4 days a week due to staff shortages, and the starting salary for teachers in Missouri is the lowest in the nation. Now, despite Governor Parson proposing a significant increase in investment in education, including a pay raise for teachers, the Republicans in the House have canned it.
Starting salary for teachers in the Show Me State, $25,000, the lowest in the country and nearly 20% under the national average.
Do we need to pay teachers more? Absolutely. Is this the right way to do it? I'm not sure.
That's right. Paying them with money seems short-sighted. It's no wonder that the teachers in Missouri are leaving at a higher rate than we've ever seen before.
According to a newly released survey, 51% of Missouri teachers who responded said they often consider quitting education.
This year, when you add together sometimes, often, and very often, that number's 80%, and that surprised us.
Are we putting too many demands on our teachers? Are we controlling them too much? Are we taking away autonomy from the certified professional to make decisions on behalf of their classroom and their students? We know that we're going to have a mass exodus of teachers at the end of this year across the state who are either going to go to other states to teach or they're quitting the profession in general, which means that we are going to have more vacancies in our classrooms next school year than we do this school year.
Teaching is hard work, okay? It is much more difficult than people recognize, and they need to be compensated for the work that they do, and they need to be respected for the work that they do. And I think in many cases that just isn't happening.
Pay and respect. These seem to be relatively non-controversial in the past. As recent as 2020, 77% of parents believed teachers should be paid more, and 69% believed that being a teacher was harder than their current job. But today, if working long hours for low pay wasn't hard enough, that whole respect thing seems to be lacking as well. Teachers have been the target of harsh criticism over what they teach and how they teach. Missouri lawmakers are demanding more transparency from teachers. But teachers will tell you parents can already find out what their kids are learning by going online or simply picking up the phone, because they're humans. But this assault on teaching and public education generally is nonstop. Now, Attorney General Eric Schmidt has set up a web portal for parents to report teachers using woke lesson plans. Encouraging people to report their neighbors to the government, it seems familiar. No. That's it. All of this has left teachers feeling a little under attack. Which brings us back to more teachers and more teachers leaving. Less students working to become teachers, leading to larger classrooms, shorter school weeks, and biggest surprise to no one, a push to privatize public education. I mean, if public schools have become so toxic that they can't retain teachers or stop themselves from creating unsavory lesson plans, the only sensible thing to do would be to defund those schools, which, despite sitting on billions of dollars, seems to be exactly what the leaders in the Missouri House want to do. So what do? Missouri teachers deserve better. Without them and the support staff at school, our children are in trouble. And I don't care how much you want to fully privatize public education. There is no way that model could ramp up in time to meet the needs of all Missouri kids anytime soon. So let's tell our legislators to stop sitting on their hands and get to work. We could at least start by paying these rock stars that help mold our kids into adults a freaking living wage. And maybe throw in a bonus or two for dealing with those little monsters every day. But what do I know? I'm just some guy in a tie. Bye for now.